I'm Charisma Ortiz. I'm a redshirt sophomore on Texas women's basketball team. I'm here interviewing Celeste and Charlie. Today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things, but we're going to start off basically with how everyone is doing and how everyone's kind of staying busy during this time.
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I'm just working out, staying in shape, doing homework, just stuff that I would normally do at school. I just have to do it at home now and adjust. So everything's going well over here.
Yeah, same over here. I mean, it's pretty bad out here in New York, but other than that, trying to stay safe, putting in as much work as I can and trying to finish up the semester strong. How
So,
are you doing?
I've been doing great. Same thing, obviously doing homework, trying to work out, stay in shape, and just excited to get back on campus with both of you guys and the rest of the team. So how would you guys, after playing this year, obviously you guys both had great seasons individually, and then as a team we played really well as well. How would you reflect on your individual growth as of last season? Obviously Celeste, you being a freshman just coming in, kind of being able to make an impact right away. How was that for you?
I mean, at first it was definitely tough. Just trying to find my place and find my role. But I think throughout the season, my teammates and the coaching staff definitely helped me adjust and just feel really comfortable out there. It's just a look back on a great experience, from having some downfalls to doing really good and, having great wins. So, just looking back and just enjoying it and learning from it. I think I took that out the most.
And then Charlie, for you, how has it been? Obviously, last year you didn't get as many minutes because of the seniors that we had on the team. But obviously, this year you were put in a lot more difficult situations. You were getting a lot more playing time, averaging almost a double-double. How were you able to kind of transform your gameplay from last year into this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was more of a maturity mindset for me. I grew dramatically over the summer in the off season, and just knowing that I have to step up for my team and that we're losing seniors and we're losing key players. So I had to step up this season and be that key player, that go-to person for my team. And mainly it was just me being receptive to all of the coaching and being able to be coached, and it turned out well for us this season.
So, Charisma, since you are a redshirt sophomore, what did you think you learned from this experience?
I think I was definitely shocked at first that I didn't get cleared, but I was very grateful for the opportunity, just being able to have had Coach Jamie train me basically for an entire year. It was very eye-opening, as well as just being able to learn a variety of different positions. I've done that before, but this year, obviously, in practices and stuff, whenever you guys would need just an extra person or whatever it might be to jump in, even at the 4 or 5 spot, like coach would just have me go in there. So it helped me a lot in terms of developing my gameplay and making sure that I could play from every position, and just understand the flow of the game in college a lot better. I think mentally you guys helped me a lot in terms of staying positive, and making sure that I was okay throughout the process, because there were days that it was pretty hard for me to come to practice knowing that I wouldn't be able to play on game days. Becoming kind of helped me. Just like see you guys would always make me laugh and keep me like my spirits up. So it was a lot easier than I would have thought from the beginning. And I'm very appreciative of having experienced it. We talked about like the impact of the seniors throughout the season. I know we have in the locker room. Obviously appreciated them. We always were hanging out, things like that. How can you guys further explain that, the impact that the seniors have left on this team for the coming years? Is also kind of talking a little bit about the WNBA draft, and obviously Shug and Joyner getting drafted this year.
I think it's really big for us, just having 2 of our girls from our team getting drafted this year. I think they each left something important to all of us. They're very different in their own way. And I think that just learning from each of them, like Shug, she's laid back, but when she gets on the court, she's going to work. And Jordan brings that type of fun personality to the team. And I think Jada is kind of a different role where she kind of lets you just know that there's other things than basketball involved. And so I think that was really important. And then LaShawn is just having fun all the time and, enjoying the process of playing basketball and getting back to it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like all of the seniors had their different ways of being a leader, and some were stronger than others. But more than ever, I mean, they each taught us something, and we all learned from them. And so, them being here and giving us the lessons that they did while they were here definitely set us up for the future, and gonna make us better leaders because us three are gonna have to be the leaders of the team next year and carry on the tradition.
For sure. So we obviously have talked to Coach Schaefer now. The new coaching staff is in. It's finalized. How are you guys feeling about the new coaching staff? Just thoughts, things like that. Anything that's come to mind in terms of that. And obviously we've been bombarded with a whole bunch of people trying to ask us questions, fans reaching out. How are you guys feeling about that?
Excited, bro.
Yeah, super
Definitely.
excited. It's going to be
Definitely
fun.
can't
I'm just
wait.
learning. Yeah, I'm learning a new style of play and, just getting after it with the teammates and the girls. Coach Shaver is hard-nosed, gets down and dirty. He loves the defensive end. And I think that for us, it's going to be different, but I think we're going to be fine adjusting to it and just learning from them. Speaking to them, they're a great group of people. They care about us more as individuals. So I think it's just going to be fun, and just knowing that you have a staff that cares about you. It's just fun to play for that, and the enthusiasm that they have and they bring to the floor. It's going to be a really fun year.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, continuing on, obviously, about women's sports in general, we learned recently that the annual salary has obviously gone up a lot for the WNBA, and that's the collective bargaining agreement. So how are you guys feeling in regards to that? Obviously now this is huge for us because we don't have to think about possibly having to play both seasons overseas and here pro. So the risk of injury and all of that could be alleviated. But how are you guys feeling about that moving forward, and obviously being potential draft picks in the future?
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely a motivation type of thing. A lot of girls are going to want to play professionally now in the States instead of going overseas, mainly because we know we're getting paid more. And I know when I was younger growing up, I'm like, 60,000, like that's nothing. So I wanted to just go overseas. So now having that is definitely driving me more. I was driven before, but now even more. And especially now that I know that I'm eligible to go to the draft next year because of my age, that makes me even more excited for this season. So I'm just glad that they put that into the works, and I hope that they continue to raise the price up. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really, really big for us, like Charlie said, especially for the younger girls too. Like, of course, we all wanted to play basketball growing up. Like, it was just something that we all loved to do. But I think it was more about passion and, like, younger kids, like their parents are like, okay, like, what do you want to do after that? Because, the amount of money that we were receiving before, it wasn't enough to sustain a family and do the things that, a lot of women want to do. So I think that now a lot of the women are being able to use their platform a lot more and just help grow the game. And it's a step in the right direction. It's going to give us something that we deserve, and we're going to keep working until we get what we deserve, even though I never think that we'll be able to do that, just because, we do so many great things that we're never going to fully get what we deserve, but we're going to keep trying. And I think that everybody using their platform is definitely going to help the women's game, from basketball all the way down to all the other sports as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. And to back off Celeste, I mean, just the amount of work that we put in, like, people don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So, like, it's definitely tough, and we deserve way more than what we're getting. So I'm just glad that they put that in the works, and people are actually noticing the work that we're putting in. So
Definitely.
Great.
So obviously, remember this previous season, during our season, we were kind of all together actually when it happened. When we found out about Kobe passing, we were all in shock about it. Didn't really know what was going on. Didn't know if it was true, but saw the headlines. Wasn't really sure. How do you think that Kobe and his life and death have kind of impacted you guys personally, individually, and as well as the rest of the team and our dynamic during the season? Obviously, it happened right smack dab, almost in the middle, going into playoffs time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that kind of impacted you all?
Go see.
So, I mean, for me and like for the team, I think that a lot of what is being talked about with Kobe is that, since we just spoke about like the girls game growing. Like, he really put his time and effort through his daughter and himself, just, trying to grow the girls game and trying to, show us the respect and the attention that we deserve. And so I think that's one of the biggest things. And also Kobe's mentality. Like, when I was younger, my parents always spoke to me about my mentality and, just how I go after things, and I go after it and I'm going to get it and I'm going to work hard for it. And as long as I keep working, my time will come and things will happen. So I think just the way he thought about the game and the way he processed the game and the way he lived his life, I think that's what impacted me the most. And that's definitely what I take the most from him, is that Mamba mentality.
Yeah. I feel like what people don't realize is that Kobe was such a voice for the WNBA. Like, he vouched for us. Like, he vouched for women's basketball. And so I feel like he was more of the leader, above LeBron or people like that want to now get to know women's basketball. And so him passing away was definitely a shock for all of us, and especially it hit home for a lot of women's basketball players, because it was like, okay, we have a guy on our side. Like, we have somebody that's a great, a legendary person that's on our side, and know that we need to get paid more. We need to do this. And he has people like Sabrina or a staple person like that that's vouching for that. So it's definitely, he left a legacy. So
Definitely. So this something to be excited about in the next couple years. Our new arena is being built as of right now. So how are you guys feeling about that? I know there's jitters. Excited. It's going to be a little bit smaller, but it's going to be different in terms of the atmosphere. I think it's just going to be a lot louder, crazier. I think it's going to be a lot harder to play Texas in that new arena. So how are you guys feeling about that, obviously, and then kind of the fans making sure that everyone's staying safe and healthy? How are you guys, what's your input on that?
I feel like it's going to be great for us. The whole thing was to get more fans in the arena to watch us play. And that's definitely going to get a lot of people to come and see and come watch women's basketball, especially Texas women's basketball. That arena is going to be amazing. And I know this year, Coach Schaefer and his staff are working hard to get more fans in the stadium. And so us doing that and promoting the new stadium is definitely going to get people on our side and get people to buy tickets to come watch the game. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a great experience with the Moody Center. I think that, there's so much history in the Irwin Center, and, it'll be hard to bring all that over there because all those past players that have played there previously, it'll be hard to bring that history over. But I think that's just, room to make new history and make new moments and create new memories with new players and new teammates and new coaches. So it's going to be really fun. And, the fans, they're going to bring whatever we have at the Irwin Center, they're going to come on over and they're going to bring their loud cheers and their signs. And, hopefully we could just pack that house out and continue to, bring on more fans and everybody else on the bandwagon with us.
All right. In closing, I'm Charisma Ortiz, this is Celeste Taylor and Charlie Collier. Thank you for listening to us. And obviously, thank you guys for answering these few questions that we had about the previous season. I want to thank all the Longhorn fans for staying tuned in, as well as just being vocal and making sure that everyone's okay during this unprecedented time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hook 'em.
Hook 'em.